Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer bringing you Mail Monday, a weekly series that's not so much about the gameplay, but instead about me reading your letters and answering them. Now I know I just said it wasn't about the gameplay, but I do want to say I remember this game, and if I recall correctly, it was kind of hard fought. It was a difficult game to do well in, and I die a lot, but I thought it was an interesting game because, you know, it's hard fought. So let's get into Mail Monday. I'm 18 and I'm known as the nice guy with girls. Not saying that's a bad thing, but it gets annoying after a while, thinking that a girl likes you and always finding out you're just friends. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty mature for my age and I handle everything by thinking it through first. But the girls are just stupid. Or one might say, bitches be crazy, right? I'm tired of being the nice guy. I get the title without even trying. I'm honestly not even that nice. It's just that I'm not a total asshole to anyone. Oh, and my guy friends all have girlfriends, which means I do everything by myself and they're too busy to ever hang out. I don't want a girlfriend just to compete with them or anything. I'm tired of just being alone. That sounds so sad. Nah, it doesn't sound sad to me. But anyway, every time me and a girl get close, I always end up being that nice guy that girls think of as just a friend all the time. I feel like I'm going to be forever alone. I'd appreciate it if you could reply to me. The nice guy. Yeah, you're possibly one in a long line of guys that's made the mistake of thinking that the trick to getting a girl to like him is to shower her with acts of kindness, right? And it kind of makes sense on the surface, right? You'd think that being nice to someone would be a good way to get that someone to like you. But yeah, for reasons that are hard to explain, it's not. It's not. You know, being really cool to a girl doesn't really get that girl to think, wow, you know, and I'm in love with this guy is sexy, etc. No, it just doesn't work like that. Instead, you're much better off just sort of like making a move and moving on if it doesn't work. That stick and move, that girl will size you up in the first, whatever, couple of seconds to decide whether or not she wants to be your girlfriend. And, you know, just give a girl's opportunity to make that sizing up decision. And, you know, don't be upset if you're rejected. Don't be upset if you don't win, you know, every at bat. Instead, you know, make a move and move on. That's the thing to do there. The other thing I wanted to talk about that can lead to that nice guy syndrome is not being a full-fledged person. And what I mean by this is you can't just expect somebody else to complete you. You can't be this boring guy with nothing to offer and expect girls to fall for that. No, what you need to be instead is a guy who brings something to the table in terms of ideas, entertainment, thoughts, original thoughts. You need to be a guy who, you know, she looks to for advice, a guy that she can, I don't know, tap into to complete her. And by complete her, you know, when this is done right, 1 and 1 is 3, right? You don't just complete each other and the two of you form one person. No. The two of you are more than the sum of your parts. That's what a good relationship is about. And part of getting there is not being someone who depends on her for ideas on what to do, what to say, what to think. Not being someone who, you know, tags along. Girls, mostly, are not looking for guys that you know, that just sort of, you know, follow them around like puppy dogs. No, they need some sort of leadership. And by the way, you know, look, I'm a modern guy, right? Guys need this same leadership, right? Girls are supposed to bring something to the show other than just following you around with no original ideas and stuff, right? It's much more attractive if your partner is a full-fledged person than someone who's just an extension of you, you know, your copy, your mini you. So anyway, yeah, those are two things that can get guys trapped into this nice guy place. One, you know, showering them with acts of kindness in an effort to get them to like them. And two, not being a full person, not having your own ideas and sort of leading the show to any extent. So yeah, I hope that helps out a little bit. I'm a 16-year-old guy and I have a brain injury. When I was a kid, I ran into many things and I got too many concussions. Each major one was a headache for 2 weeks and then it would go away. By the 7th time, the headache stayed with me. It's been almost 2 years. The pain is always with me and it's forced me to drop out of school and go into a crappy one for stupid kids. What happens is that I can deal with the pain in school for about 3 hours, but then it gets overwhelming and I can't do anything, including stand up, eat, sleep, or anything else. I'm at least 2 years behind in my work at school. At best, I will be a super senior. Nothing helps except one thing, marijuana. Marijuana makes the headache completely go away for at least 4 days after I come down from the high. I live in Colorado, so I could get a medical marijuana card with both parents' permission, but the problem is that my father is 100% against it and kicked me out of the house because I asked. My mom supports whatever I think is right, and I really need it. She just gives me some pot. Oh, and if I really need it, she gives me some pot. I love both of them, and I know my dad just cares about me, but I don't know what to do. My questions are, if your son or daughter was in the same position as me, would you approve the use of marijuana? Do you think that I should try to convince my dad even though it won't work? Do you think that I should continue using pot illegally to get through school? If you were in my position, what would you do? My life is a living hell with no friends, no girls, little money, and a lot of pain. If you got through this whole message, you're awesome. Woohoo! And I think if you could respond in any way possible, it'd be grateful. Thanks, dude. Marijuana. This is a tough one. A lot of guys have asked me about this. So look, I get that marijuana isn't as bad for you as, some other things, right? With regards to medical marijuana, this is kind of an easy call for me. I like doctors to have the ability to prescribe almost anything, right? Whatever works for them. If they prescribe some pretty serious stuff right now, like morphine's a big deal, right? It does a lot to kill pain. It's really super addictive, yet we give doctors license to prescribe this stuff because we trust doctors and we trust their judgment. It seems to me like, marijuana could fall in that same category. That, get some, Woody, take out that jug. That, if we trust doctors to prescribe morphine, and we trust them to prescribe a lot of other things, I can't name them all, then we could trust them to prescribe marijuana. Now, let's get back to your situation in particular. Let's assume that marijuana is the only known cure for this thing, the only thing that we've really figured out. Then, I think I would follow the doctor's advice along those same lines I talked about before. If a doctor says, you know what, this thing works for me. This seems to make a lot of sense. It's working. We don't have any other known cures. Therefore, we're good to go on it. Then I think I'd be all for it. Now, in your particular situation, you're thought, oh, you know what? Let's talk about marijuana legality in general, because a lot of guys have asked me about it. So, look, okay, marijuana's bad for you. Now, I know a lot of you guys, don't want to believe that. But, that we could at the very least compare it to, say, like unfiltered cigarettes in terms of, health effects. It's not good for you. It's not the worst thing for you, but there's some trouble there, right? You camper, look at you. It kind of falls to me under the, my general rules for morality, which is, does it hurt other people, right? Consenting adults should be able to do a lot of stuff in, my personal kingdom. So, to me, I wouldn't mind seeing it regulated, something like alcohol. Like, if you're an adult, then, you're good to go. Let's make sure you're not driving on this stuff. But, yeah, that's my general opinion on where the legality of marijuana should be. It should be something that adults can choose on their own, and make sure you're not hurting other people. Then you're in roughly good shape, in my opinion. You had some specifics, like, whether or not you should, talk to your father about this. I think I thought I was capturing the flag right there. Then, if you can do it reasonably, you might even want to start off by doing it in writing. Somehow that's a pretty effective icebreaker. If you write yourself your father, to say, like a one-page paper on how it's helping you and what kind of difference it makes and how you think it can change your life, then go for that and make it clear to him that this isn't just a I love getting high type thing, but it's more of a this thing could have a dramatic impact on your life. Your father knows your deal. Your father knows about your headache. Your father knows about the challenges that you've had in getting through school and how you can't even stand up after a few hours of concentration. This is a big deal, and if pot is really a solution for this, then I would think your father would be as desperate to find a cure as you are. So yeah, that's I think it is worth talking to him again, especially if it's helping him. Now, the last question you asked is, should you continue using it illegally? And man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. If it actually is like this lifeline that's helping you live the life that you need, if it's helping you get through school, if it's helping you, cure some really major problems for you, then, I hate to prescribe something that's illegal, but man, if it is as you describe, the only cure for severe debilitation, then you'd think it'd be worth a whole lot of risk. If there is actually an element of you saying yeah, actually ibuprofen cures this thing too, but I sure prefer pot as my remedy, then no, then that shouldn't be the case. Let's try to squeeze one more message in. Wouldn't be Mail Monday without at least one sex question. Yesterday we're messing around and before we knew it, we're naked. She said she wanted to do it for the first time, so I grabbed a condom. Good move, man, good move. And got into place. But sadly, the second I got in, I finished. I tried to play it off, but we both knew what really happened. It was awkward for the rest of the day. Do you think it matters that I finished that fast? Do you think I should talk to her about it? Any advice on how to last longer? Any help would be grateful. Your videos are great. Keep it up. Alright, now this isn't something you want to happen all the time. If you were 26 years old and married, I think your wife would be bummed that she didn't get hers. But, that's not the case. This is a first-time type deal. And I think that she's just kind of forgiving and overlook it and whatever. And if you're like most young guys, first time doesn't have to be the last time. That should be the approach that you take on this going forward. Are there any tricks? Yeah, sure. There's like well-known, worn-out guy tricks. One is to make your first session of the day by yourself so that, when subsequent sessions come up, you've got a little more staying power. Another well-known guy trick is to think of something else. The cliche is to think about baseball. I've always found math to be more distracting and a better way to sort of take my head out of the game. Go ahead, add a couple 3 or 4 digit numbers, carry the ones, etc., and you'll see that it'll help you last longer. So best of luck to you. I bet she totally overlooks it, and maybe the next time will go better. Alright, my last 2 videos were quick tips. The top one is a super fast one. It's a secret underground capture spot. It's a way to capture CDOM in a way that leaves you a lot less vulnerable. And the bottom one was kind of misinterpreted. A lot of guys said it was about the 15-second weapon switch trick, which was only part of the video. It was really about weapons that give you extreme conditionings, which I haven't seen anywhere else. I got it from Reddit, and then subscribers give me tips. So 2 really good videos. I would actually watch the first one, then the second one, because it's so fast. Subscribe if you enjoyed this on the top right, and surprise video. It's always there. Links to t-shirts, Facebook, Twitter, etc. in the description. And have a nice day.